Hello guys, hope you are doing great. Today we are gonna do the materials for our woods cabin. Are you ready? Let's see where we left last time. So we are having the same house in the first part, and in the second part we are gonna finish everything with this. So first off, let's see what the render settings are so we can see the things better. So I'm gonna move to cycles and GPU, and let's add an environment texture. So for the moment we didn't done anything into the materials, only the lighting looks a little bit better. But let's prepare the things. I'm gonna first off save that, so part 2, just like that, so we can see exactly where we are with part 1 and part 2. And now let's establish some things. Like for this I don't really need a bevel modifier, and also for this, and they are gonna be joined. So I'm gonna select both of them and Ctrl J, just like that. Then here I can apply the bevel modifier, and also on this side I will select both and join them. That's gonna have the bevel applied. So we apply the bevel for every single thing, then I'm selecting all of them and join. Apply here, that's gonna be left just like that. These walls, yes, I'm gonna combine all of them. So I'm gonna select these two, then the front face, and the last one here, Ctrl J. They are joined. Let's apply the modifier also for this here. The reason I'm doing that is because we are gonna unwrap the objects. This is still having the bevel modifier. Okay, so everything is good. Now I can just select all of these four and join them. Maybe I will join also with this, so they are gonna have the same materials, just like that. Let's see. I'm applying the array and the displacement, and also here, or maybe I can just hit apply all. That's gonna be faster. And the last one here in the back. Okay, so I'm selecting every single stone part, Ctrl J, apply. I hope I didn't miss anything. When I was running the test, I missed some objects to be joined, and I was like, okay, it's just a test. Okay, so now I'm gonna select every single thing from here. You also, that goes just like that. So all of them are being selected. Ctrl J to join. Then we have this. I'm gonna apply. So here I'm gonna apply the modifiers and join them. We are gonna do the same for the stairs. They already are just fine. Ctrl J also here, and I guess I've done all the things. One last thing here, just like that. So everything should be fine. Let's just save. Now I'm gonna go into UV editing, so I can just enter into edit mode. I'm gonna select every single polygon. Let's start with the roof. So I'm gonna do smart UV project. That's gonna be just fast, something simple, so our textures are gonna be displayed just better. We are not gonna have any issues with them, but they are not painted textures. They're just gonna be textures that we are gonna project into the object. I tried to make them seamless. Let's just check scale to bound. So the unwrap is gonna fit into this square here. Okay, I'm gonna select this, then select every single thing and smart UV project unwrap. Okay, so that's pretty fine here. Let's say it's gonna be just like that. I'm gonna select everything from here. You are gonna be unwrapped also. Smart unwrap, yes, you too, and we just have this panels here. Okay, hope that's the last thing. I guess that's gonna be the last. I unwrapped pretty much anything which was required. Oh, also the stones. Smart UV unwrap. Okay, so this seems to be fine. Here we are having an unwrap. Everything is unwrapped. Let's just save to be sure. And now we are going into shading tab, just like that. We are into material preview. Let's see, something like that. Okay, so maybe I'm gonna start with the walls here. I'm gonna name it wall, just like that. Okay, so with the materials, if you have Node Wrangler enabled, it's an add-on that it's already within Blender. You just have to enable it if it's not already enabled, and you can press Ctrl Shift and T with the principal BSDF selected, just like that. And then I'm gonna go to textures, and let's see, I'm already having some prepared textures. The textures are gonna be available on my Patreon account for free. You can download it and you can follow the tutorial. So for this I'm gonna take the wood diffuse, wood metallic and wood normal. This is the original photo. The textures are just made by me. You do not need this, and the height map, it's for displacement, but we are not gonna play with that. It's just gonna be simple, diffuse, metallic and normal. But the thing with the metallic map, I'm just gonna put the textures in here. Into the way I've done it, it was with a software called Materialize, something like that, I guess. Yes, Materialize. The roughness texture, it's named metallic. So the Node Wrangler, it's taking it as a metallic map, but instead we are gonna take it from metallic and put it into roughness. So that's gonna be the roughness of the wood, which now it's gonna look just much better. But if we are taking a look to this, the scale of the texture, it's not exactly as we want. It's just too small, so we can scale the things a little bit now, just like, let's say, that's just enough. So something like that. We can take a preview to the render. That's how the wood is looking for the moment. Also with the normal and everything plugged in. Of course, if you do not like the color, if you want to change the color of the wood, you can just change some things into here, or maybe you can try other textures from another website, but keep in mind the copyright issues if you are taking the things for free. So just make it to multiply, just like that. Let's say we are not gonna affect the brightness of the texture, but we can change the color from here. So maybe let's say we are going for a more red look, just like that. So now we are having a little bit of red in our wood material. And I wanna also create some kind of a paint. So I'm just gonna take the principal BSDF node and then Ctrl Shift T again, and I can go to wall. Here I'm having another material, so that's gonna be wall metallic, wall normal and wall diffuse, just like that. Things are already fine, just like that. I can press Ctrl and Shift and I can take a look to what's happening right here. Of course, again, we have to change the metallic input to roughness, just like that. And again, we are gonna just play with the scale because that's too small. The scaling of it's too small. We have to make it like a smaller texture, just like that. And now I can press Ctrl and Shift, then right click, and I can merge these two nodes. It's gonna automatically bring a mix shader. Let's bring it a little bit more up, just like that. And now I need to create some sort of a mask to define where the paint is gonna be and where it's just gonna get missing. So let's try something with ambient occlusion first off. Maybe I'm gonna check only local, so that's gonna play out just good. I'm gonna plug the color. Let's just take a look for the moment to it, and I'm gonna go to converter, color ramp, just like that, and let's play a little bit with the values around here. So something like that. Let's take a look what's happening here? Nah, everything looks good. Just like that. Then I'm gonna move a little bit more this. Let's first off take a look into it. So now the paint, it's missing from those areas, but that's too uniform. We need to break some of the things there. So I'm gonna try to put an Muse Grave texture. Let's just take a look into that, just like that. Okay, and let's play a little bit with the scale, so until we are gonna find something acceptable. Let's say something like that. Let's get some more details into it, just like that, and something like this. Okay, then I'm gonna take again Control and Shift and right click. That's gonna bring a mix node. Okay, and then I'm gonna set it to screen. Okay, now maybe I'm gonna take another color ramp. I'm gonna duplicate just like that, and let's see how the things are working out. Something like that. Let's see. Maybe I'm gonna play a little bit more with the scale. Something like that. Now we can take a look. So now the lines are not exactly just straight. The paint is not missing on all the sides of the planks, just like that. So that's a little bit more detail into it. That's pretty good. Maybe I'm gonna select everything from here and I'm gonna move the things here, so they're just organized a little bit better. They are not like we are having this here, and maybe the same material is gonna go right here. So I'm gonna go for wall, just like that. Then let's see, let's do the wood here. That's gonna be wood 1. Control Shift T. Let's see here what I'm having. Yes, so that's another kind of a wood which I took a photo of. Wood metallic, wood normal, and wood diffuse. Okay, everything plugged in. You're going into the roughness, and let's see how the scale is looking. Maybe I'm just gonna put it separately. Maybe I'm gonna take a color ramp. Okay, let's take a look. I want to bring a little bit more contrast into this, just like that. Let's see. Okay, it's playing really well, but now it's just black and white value, and I want another kind of values, so that's gonna be red, and there's gonna be something like that. Let's say maybe the scale is still too small. I'm gonna adjust it like double. That's looking great. Let's put some dirt on them. So first off, I'm gonna go to textures, gradient texture, just like that. Let's take a look into it. I'm gonna press Ctrl and T. That's gonna bring a mapping node, and let's see where exactly we need to rotate it. That's just gonna be a trial. Okay, so it's on y-axis 90 degrees, just like that, and I'm gonna adjust them up. Okay, I'm gonna just move the x-axis. The rest of it, it's 0. We do not need to move that. Also, yes, generated, sorry. And now I can bring a noise texture. Let's say noise texture, Control Shift, just like that. Okay, let's see. Again, I put it to screen, color ramp, just like that, and maybe there's gonna be something just like that. I'm gonna move the things here. I'm gonna take the UV to here, or maybe I will plug it from the mapping, just like that. Okay, something like this. Maybe the scale it's gonna be a little bit smaller, something like that. Let's also bring a mix RGB, set it to multiply. That's gonna be, or sorry, no. Let's make the noise a little bit dirty, just like that. Okay, then I'm gonna press Shift T. Here I'm having the mix node, then multiply, so we can take a look into the texture. something like that. We are having also some dirt around here. Maybe I'm gonna put a little bit more detail into it, and also some roughness, just like that. Let's take a look. Okay, now I want some more dirt around here, so maybe what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna duplicate this, and then that's just gonna go over this, but with the same color. So just like that, you go here, everything looks good. I want it to be around this area. Let's say multiply, something like that. So here it's gonna be very dirty. Let's take a look. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Let's get out of local view, just like that. Now that I'm seeing it, maybe it's too red in my opinion, so I'm just gonna adjust the color ramp, just like that. Maybe I will use the same wood here. Let's just take a look. And now I'm gonna separate it. That's gonna be wood frame, let's say, and that's gonna be simple, just like that. So it's not having any dirt. I can just select all of these things and delete them. We don't really need that. Let's take a look. The scaling, it's good. Yes, it's pretty good. Here on the door, maybe I'm gonna have the same material as the wood frame. Here I'm gonna put this material, so it's a little bit of a difference there. Wood frame, just like that. Let's see here on this step, I'm having many materials, and I'm gonna go to marble, and I'm gonna change that to wood frame. And the same goes here, so I'm going into slot 4, wood frame. Okay, let's see also with wood what we are having here. We need to make the other kind of wood. Let's see for the roof. Okay, then here I'm gonna press Ctrl Shift T. Wood 2. Maybe I'm gonna use the same wood material, just like that. Okay, metallic goes into the roughness, so we do not need so many materials. Texture, we can always adjust them by how we like them to be displayed. I'm gonna move this a little bit up, just like that, and let's give it some distance, and let's change the colors here. So I want the roof to be, let's say, tinted to blue, just like that, and a little bit darker, just like this. Let's see if the scale is fine. Maybe I'm gonna go for a bigger scale, something like that. Also, I'm thinking about moving that, going to texture, bright contrast. Let's bring a little bit more contrast, just a little bit more, like that. Let's make it much more blue. Let's take a look into the roughness. Okay, so color ramp, something like that. So it's much more reflective, something like this. You can see the difference here. And then I'm gonna bring much more distance because I wanna add also some dirt around here. So first of ambient occlusion, let's take a look into that. Only local. I'm gonna go for a color ramp, much more, just like that. Texture, noise texture. Let's check the scale, something like this. Okay, duplicate the color ramp around here. Okay, so the mix RGB node is gonna be set to subtract. That's how I'm using the color ramp, just like that. So we are having some dirt, and then I'm gonna duplicate again, and here I'm gonna just leave everything as it was, like, let's say maybe something like that. And the black value, it's gonna be something like the dirt texture, so around here, not perfectly black, and also some color to it, just like that. A small adjustment to that. Let's move the things around. so that's fitting around here. Okay, let's just see how the color is playing. I'm gonna set it to multiply. Okay, and now the real thing is gonna happen right here, because I'm gonna bring a color ramp again. I'm gonna plug this here just like that. So the black value means 100% roughness, 0 roughness. It's 100% reflective, sorry. So I'm gonna just change the things around here, maybe not all the way black, something like that. So I can bring a mix node, and here I'm gonna change the things to screen, just like that. Maybe that's gonna be a gray, not all the way white also, and that's gonna be plugged into the roughness. Now let's take a look to see what we've done, what we should have. Some parts are reflective, but where we are supposed to have the dirt, the surface here is not so reflective, which is pretty cool. It's a small detail to the texture. Maybe I can add the same material here for the roof, or maybe it's gonna be a little bit different. So I'm gonna have wood frame, just like that. Here on the stairs I'm gonna put the same material, just like that. Or let's take a look how it's looking with the wood. Okay, that's gonna be the way to go. Let's also set the cover here. Control Shift T. Okay, I'm gonna go for wall again, wall metallic. Yes, again we need to play with the scale. As you can see, maybe I'm gonna go to material preview, and also let's save just to be sure. As you can see, I tried to make the texture as seamless as possible. Of course, when you're scaling them a lot of times you can see it, but it's not so visible. Like, let's say we are going for 7 times, you cannot see it so straight. Like, first off you see it, oh okay, I see the seams. Let's take a look to the render. So I wanna add a little bit more contrast, so I'm gonna bring a color ramp, something like this. Let's also take an ambient occlusion, and that's not gonna be only local. Color ramp, just like that. I'm gonna move it a little bit up. Then textures, noise texture. Okay, I'm gonna press Ctrl T to bring a mapping node. Let's just take a look to it. Maybe I will duplicate the color ramp, just like that, and let's play a little bit with the factors around here. And here into the scale, let's take a look what do we need to scale. So y-axis to 0.1, then let's scale the things a little bit more, just like that. So I'm gonna play also with z-axis. Let's say 5 should be pretty fine, just like that. Control Shift then right click. Now let's see, I change it to overlay, and now I'm having this kind of leaks around here. Again, I'm gonna bring a color ramp, so I'm just duplicating it, something like that. The black, it's gonna be just brownish, a brownish color, or maybe we can go for something else, but yellow to green. Let's make it a muse texture, something like that. So Control Shift then right click, bring another mix node, RGB, that's gonna be also on multiply, just like that. So let's take a look to the material. That's how the material is looking, pretty good. And maybe we can adjust a little bit the ambient occlusion so it's not too much like this, just a small factor like that. Let's also do the wood here. So I'm gonna take a look, you go away, I'm gonna plug it here, Control Shift T, wood 1, okay, Metallic goes into roughness. It's like it has to be in your mind. Okay, new texture, roughness. New texture, roughness. Let's take a look into the colors. Again, colors, okay. Let's see how it's looking if I'm saturating it a little bit more. No, the way to go, it's contrast. One small problem, I forgot that I didn't unwrap this windows, so I'm gonna plug it into object, just like that. Okay, let's see, hue saturation. Let's just bring a little bit more saturation to them, just like that. So they are having also some small details here and there. And for the glass, so I'm gonna go to slot 3. Let's just delete this because I want to do something. Now you can see inside of it, and we do not want that really. We can just make a trick with it for the moment because we are not having anything inside of the house. We just created the exterior of it. So here, as the shader was already pre-made by the Archimesh, that's how it's creating the glass, which is pretty good. Like, it's architectural glass, it's letting the light pass to pass through, so it's illuminating much more what's happening inside, but we do not need that. Instead, I'm just gonna play with the mix shader here from glossy and refraction. In this way we are gonna have more glossiness, but we do not want 100% glossiness. Instead we want something like 0.3. That's just fine. And let's play with the roughness. First off, into the glossy here, if we are taking a look, that's already set to sharp, which let's say it's pretty fine for the shader, but we need the roughness, so I'm gonna set it to multi-scatter GGX. Okay, then I'm gonna bring a Musgrave texture. Let's take a look into it. Much more details, dimension smaller, just like that, and that's gonna be plugged into roughness. Let's take a look. So that's too much for the moment, as we can see, so I'm gonna put a color ramp, just like that. Okay, everything looks good. And white doesn't need to be all the way white. Let's say we are gonna go for a gray, and black is not gonna be all the way black, so it's gonna be just something like that. So there is a middle ground. Maybe I'm gonna play a little bit with the scale of the texture, just like that. And now we can take a look. That's how our glass is looking. It's a small detail. Glass, it's always having imperfections, so we are taking in consideration that this is a cabin in the woods where you are not keeping the windows clear most of the time. And now we are left, as I guess, with the last material, which is gonna be the stones. Okay, so stone, that's gonna be the material. Control Shift T. So I'm having a stone material here. I just found this object, I took a photo of it. It was looking pretty good as a texture. I was like, wow, I like how it's looking. Let's play with the scale. Okay, so just like that. Again, metallic goes to roughness. Let's just take a look into the roughness map. Color ramp, okay. I need the black to be more black and the white to be more gray. And also this is just like that. So for the moment the texture is too bright in my opinion. So again, I'm gonna bring ambient occlusion, only local. Let's take a look into it. Color ramp again. Let's say something like this. Texture, nice texture, just like that. Okay, going to overlay. I'm gonna duplicate the color ramp, so let's take a look. That's gonna be the vector of it. Okay, something like that. So screen, it's working much better for me. And then I'm gonna put a mix node around here. Let's plug that into the color, move that a little bit more away, and multiply. just like that. So we're having just much more contrast into the shapes here. Let's just take a final look with everything here. Let's see. I think it's pretty cool. A simple design, simple materials. I'm trying to keep the things simple. So you're gonna have the materials available into my Patreon account for free, and the model is gonna be available for the Patreons. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial and found anything helpful in it. I will appreciate so much if you are just gonna like this video and subscribe to the channel to see more. Comment if you have any questions, of course. I'm just gonna try to answer to your comments as fast as I can. That was the tutorial for today. Bye.